Scott Nelson, everyone.
Hello, everyone. And I want you to know that Sharna and I planned this day months ago, didn't we? Or was it a Rotary miracle, Sharna?
I believe in magic and miracles.
Okay. It was more of the latter. But it's amazing how things work out. And I'm so happy to be with all of you. And I think I know just about all of you pretty well. And hope to get to know you better in the days and years to come. Let me share my screen, if I may. Let's see, share. Hey, there we go. And I'm going to do it from the first slide. So there's a really plain Jane screen that gives you all my contact information. And I'm happy to share this slide deck, with the district or anybody. And of course, it's being recorded, except for my introduction, Sharna. That's okay. Yeah, so thank you very much for that introduction. And let's get moving here. Environmental sustainability in Rotary District 6380. And I'm going to be speaking broadly about ESRAG and the Protecting the Environment focus area. And let me see if I can get this thing to advance the slide. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so here's the Rotary areas of focus. And, we have promoting peace, which we have champions here, fighting disease, providing clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, saving mothers and children, supporting education, growing local economies, and protecting the environment. And it sounds like we need to have somebody go on mute over there. And protecting the environment is the new kid on the block. I'm going to lead off here with a couple of several slides about the Plant-Rich Diet Task Force that Sharna mentioned, because it's significantly a creation of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor North in District 6380. So we can actually claim this as our own. And when you see the significance of it, we could become very proud that it grew right out of our district. That's just a nice graphic created by those two, Andrea and Anne-Marie. I'm going to show you a picture of Anne-Marie later. These were the original co-chairs of the Plant-Rich Diet Task Force within ESRAG. Andrea was a member of the Rotary Club of Ann Arbor North for 1 full year. And then she ultimately moved out to California, where she is working with a group called Mastering Diabetes. And if you invite me to come to your club to speak on this topic, I will present you with this slide. And it basically gives the definition that we have adopted of plant-rich diets. And this is a massive undertaking. It's called Eat Lancet, and it basically just shows you the definition. And most people are happy to know that we're not promoting veganism. We're just simply saying that the more you can move the animal portion of your diet to the edge of your plate, the better it is for your health and for the environment. This is simply the web page, the front page of the Plant-Rich Diet Task Force on the ESRAG website. And you can see the simple URL there up at the top. And there's a very large amount of information that we have aggregated there. This is just a little bit of recent history. This is the World Bank. And notice what they said here. We're on the lookout for people that are interested in supporting this area. And recipe for a livable planet. There's an implication in that statement that maybe we might not have a livable planet. And I've just underlined a couple statements here. The global agri-food system has been largely overlooked in the fight against climate change. Greenhouse gas emissions from agri-food must be cut to net zero by 2050 to achieve this goal. And then they have this 256-page report that details affordable and readily available measures that can do the job. The World Bank, what do you think? Do they have an economic interest in this? Maybe so. Let me get, see if I can advance. Oh, there we go. Oh, wrong button. And my slides are not advancing again here. Oh, there we go. Project Drawdown has been a partner of ESRAG, the Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group. And if you go to their solution table of solutions, and I'm pointing that out up here in the URL, and you sort that under scenario 1, which limits greenhouse gas emissions to, or global warming to 2.0 degrees. Scenario 2 is 1.5. We are sort of right on the edge of crossing that boundary. We're not there yet. So you can sort this on both scenarios. Notice that this illustrates, in a way, the previous slide. Reducing food waste is the #1 solution for drawing down greenhouse gas emissions, and plant-rich diets are #2. Notice family planning and education. Is that a Rotary focus area? I think so. Refrigerant management, tropical forest restoration is very important, and we will not be able to achieve that if we don't transform our food system. Also notice cleaner cooking. There's a task force within ESRAG on that. And utility solar photovoltaics, and also distributed. Notice it's listed here twice. We sometimes call it solar produced energy. So that's a significant think tank. I'm going to switch a little bit over to the direct human health benefits of plant-rich diets. There's a whole new medical specialty called lifestyle as medicine. And notice it says here on their website that lifestyle as medicine can address up to 80% of chronic diseases. And so this is a term you may not be familiar with, but there's actually several medical doctors here in the IHA or Trinity Health that actually specialize in this area. So it's a growing phenomenon in the medical community. Notice here, this center part here kind of breaks down the essential elements of lifestyle medicine: enjoying a plant-predominant diet, physical activity, some of the things we've been hearing about, for a while. So then there, Sharna mentioned the blue zones. This is a National Geographic study where they were looking into long-lived populations, those that have a high percentage of centenarians in their population. Let's study those populations and reverse engineer their longevity. And this came out in 2005, so this has been around for a while. And you'll notice here that on the bottom here it says plant slant. And there's, move naturally. So there's a great strong convergence in the blue zones science and lifestyle as medicine. Okay, trying to move my slides again. Here we go. Now, Shauna mentioned our county. So my county is Washtenaw County. And there's this group called the Washtenaw Optimal Wellness. And so that's just, the the acronym is WOW, literally, works to bring the Blue Zones project to Washtenaw County. And this is happening around the country. Cities, municipalities are actually inviting the Blue Zones project to come into their community to help to elevate the health status of that community. And it lists right here those things again: plant-based diet. President Jeff Tritton, he's got quite a testimonial, and he's the president, and I'm on the steering committee with Jeff. Now, the Washtenaw Optimal Wellness gave rise to a book reading club. And notice these titles here, written by Michael Greger. Two of these have been around for a while. And this How Not to Age book came out a year ago, December. And this was the first book we read together. We spent 6 sessions, a large book. The entire reference session is online because it wouldn't fit in the book. But Dr. Greger is accruing the last 20 years of aging research and how to, notice it says, the scientific approach to getting healthier as you get older. Imagine Rotary being a new non-geographical blue zone where service-minded Rotarians are getting healthier as they're getting older. What a powerful, even more powerful Rotary International group we might be. This was the second book we read, and the Alzheimer's solution. And the Alzheimer's solution is pretty much the same as what we've already seen summarized. And this book proposes to reduce Alzheimer's by, look at it, says here, radically reduces the risk of Alzheimer's disease by 90%. That's kind of a big number. So we read that book together in the book reading club. The next one was Ikigai. So this is about how the Japanese have achieved longer longevity. And this is a really nice little book. We read that book together. Life Purpose. And, they take us into a community in Okinawa where they literally have the Institute of Longevity right there in the community, and many wonderful concepts there. So the most recent book we read together was this book right here. And let's see, what did I just do on my screen? I'm trying to move one of these controls out of the way. Here we go. Notice it says The Menu of Hope: Alternatives to the Food That's Destroying Our Planet. Gaia Kyle is the author. And guess who he is? He's the guy that inspired the book reading club. So this is an Ann Arbor author. He also happens to be a nurse practitioner and a lifestyle as medicine practitioner. And this book actually probably nails down the idea that plant-rich diets actually may be more important, marginally speaking, than food waste, although the two of those concepts really kind of meet together, work together very nicely. This is a diagram that I presented at the joint 6380-6400 district conference. It's embedded. This is my diagram, and it's in a position paper that I wrote, which actually is kind of a cliff notes of that book I just showed you, just a couple of pages long. And it proposes that Rotary could actually, put a bunch of folks together and educate the planet on some of these very important things, such as lifestyle as medicine, and climate-safe lifestyle, which have at its convergence plant-rich diets. One of the most important things we could do. So eat plants predominantly in your diet, and then take the food waste out, the plant scraps, put them in a compost pile, and you have personally solved the top two things that are most important in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. In the city of Ann Arbor, notice their sustainability plan includes support a plant-rich diet. And the Washtenaw Optimal Wellness, you'll see down here, and all these contributing entities are promoting this aspect of the city's sustainability plan. Now, Sharna said that I'm my other main nonprofit association is with my Seventh-day Adventist Church. And this week I've been supplying some builders with deposit checks so that they can build this vegan commercial kitchen. And I'm really excited about this. This is so timely to be talking about this right now. They're literally going to be tearing down a wall here in the middle of this space, and then this is going to be a commercial kitchen. And we're going to be doing all this stuff as our plan to assist the community. So this is the Life Hope Community Center right here in Ann Arbor. And I actually literally just got off the phone with this guy. He's the chef, Master Chef Miguel, who has incredible experience. He actually wants to turn this into a training center, not only for people who want to learn about plant-based nutrition cooking, but also to train other chefs in the specialty of plant-based cooking. And so Chef Miguel Larche, hope you all get to meet him sometime. Marvelous guy. We're doing this class right now in our church venue, and Diabetes Undone. It's an 8-session class, and we're just about we finished session 7. We're going to be doing session 8, and I'm hoping to create a team where we can reproduce this program around the community. Even it can be done online. My club president, we meet in a Methodist church, and she suggested that we offer it to the church in whatever community they're connected with. And so that's an idea that we have. She suggested we did a district grant, but we have to put together a budget. It's not expensive at all to put on. Very effective. So I'm going to ask you some things here. Our Plant-Rich Diet Task Force created in 2021 the 15-day Plant-Rich Diet Challenge. And I'll never forget the first time I met Sharna, and she said, wow, that 15-day Plant-Rich Diet Challenge is pretty cool, man. And that was at a district conference. So that was created by the 2 original co-chairs of our task force. We recorded 15 videos. We distributed 15 emails. We have a cookbook and a starter kit. And if you go to our district website, you'll find this advertisement right there. And I would encourage you all to simply sign up for the 15-day Plant-Rich Diet Challenge. It's been completely redone by 3 new co-chairs of the Plant-Rich Diet Task Force, which has grown into a global entity. We're just finding Rotarians all over the world that are just saying, wow, I didn't know Rotary was doing this. Well, it's really starting to do it. This is the text that you'll find on the district website. It's got the join link and so forth. And I won't read this whole thing to you, but, easy peasy, green and leafy. We kind of like to have a little bit of fun with this thing. And so there you go. The Earth Day Plant-Rich Diet Challenge. I'm going to talk a little bit about RICON. RICON is the Rotary International Conference. So I've been to the last 3 RICONs. Houston, this is Melbourne, and notice Manish Mehta there in the picture. This is a slide that Manish created. He's presenting this slide at EarthX conference down in Texas this week. This is incredible. And we had 2 speakers. They're pictured there. You can see me there next to that informational thing. And Malcolm McKay is over there. And we had another speaker. Malcolm McKay is a lifestyle medicine practitioner, gave an awesome presentation at our breakout session. You know how hard it is to get a breakout session at a RICON? We got one. And the other speaker was speaking on the environmental aspects of our food system. And that's just a short little list of things that the Plant-Rich Diet Task Force has been involved with. This is me in Singapore, and I'm really bad at taking these selfies. Notice all the letters back there are backwards. But that's the House of Friendship. I had somebody else take that photo. Our co-chair, who you'll see seated in the back of that booth, she co-created this Vegans Rotary Fellowship with a couple from Portugal, past district governor from Portugal and his partner. And wow, as the first year of this booth, they really did a nice job of that booth. And we had a lot of fun engaging that. I was in there helping them. And that is just amazing. They're going to be up in Calgary, and I'm going there too. Well, there's Anne-Marie, and you can just see how much fun we have together. This is at the ESRAG dinner. And on the left side, I'm on my knees, and on the right side, you can see that Anne-Marie is the one that has the height advantage. This is me and Manish at a general session in Singapore. And so you can see the big crowd that's there. All right. So that's RICON, and I'm going to Calgary. And what's really cool about Calgary is our burgeoning Plant-Rich Diet Task Force has about 10 people attending Calgary. And we got some really cool stuff planned for Calgary. Now, here's my another ask that I have for you, and that is that you buy this book for your club. This is a 2024, this is a brand new book. And you'll actually find my name in here with regards to the Plant-Rich Diet Task Force. It's talking about all the things Rotarians are doing, but this Michael Koch wrote a fantastic book talking about how a Rotary Club can become a climate-friendly and sustainable Rotary Club. Very informative. Please buy this book for your club. What are the 7 steps, you might ask? Well, I've just listed them here. Won't spend a lot of time fleshing them out. But it's just the idea of educating the club and then thinking about a new concept that I learned in Singapore. That is the concept of the handprint. So your carbon footprint is how much carbon your activities are producing, but your handprint is how much carbon you are drawing down. That's a really cool concept. And so you can figure out ways to potentially make your club carbon neutral and, of course, educate your club about these things so they can take action at all levels of their existence here on the planet. So I want to introduce you to ESRAG. What I'd like to do here, Sharna, potentially, if I can do it, let me pull that back. And here we are. Really want to play this video. And in order to do that, I have to make sure that I am sharing my sound. There we go. Share my sound in high fidelity. Okay, so now I need to go up here and pop this in here. This is Doug White. He's a member of our task force, but he's much more than that. I would consider him the father of our task force. There he is. Let me ask you if you can hear this.
Now I would like to introduce Doug White. As you can see, Doug is the current chair of ESRAG Task-Forces.
That's Yasir from Turkey introducing Doug. Can you hear that?
We can hear it. Your screen has not changed though. Are you intending to show video as well?
You can't see the video? Oh, did I? Oh, you know what? I probably stopped sharing. Let's go back to that. Thank you for that. Okay. And we're back. Okay. Let me just blow this up and here we go. Let me know if there's something wrong.
And also a board member. Doug, the floor is yours.
Rotary International is learning that by focusing on the environment, Rotary keeps and attracts new members. The task forces and initiatives are incubators for programs and projects that Rotary clubs, districts, and zones can use to address multiple environmental crises: climate, biodiversity, and pollution. ESRAG has a dynamic team of leaders who run these programs. They help Rotarians create a planet that thrives, beginning in each Rotarian's individual community. A plant-rich diet is good for both human and planetary health. If food waste was a country, it would be the third largest polluter on Earth, behind China and the USA. Rotary International staff are joining the movement by offering plant-based meal options and reducing food waste in their cafeteria. They showcased both the plant-rich diet and the food waste task forces in the Rotary magazine in December 2023. As a result of an ESRAG delegation visiting one Rotary Center in January, RI staff featured Chris Cameron's journey from contemplating resigning from Rotary to co-chair of the Plant-Rich Diet Task Force in the March Service in Action blog, and again this August. Adopting a plant-rich diet enables every Rotarian to be a person of eco-action for climate change, regardless of age, income, geography, or circumstances. The origins of Let's Get Lunch Out of Landfills go back to 2018, when 3 seventh graders, led by Avitka Argyle, designed a program diverting school food waste from incineration to food recovery and compost. Together with Rotarian Joe Richardson, they won a $48,000 World Wildlife Fund grant, funding more than 80 Maryland school programs. Through ESRAG and Interact clubs, the coalition now has programs in more than 13 U.S. states and over 15 countries. Rotaractor Avitka presented Lunch Out of Landfills in the Rotary Pavilion at COP28. Approximately 1/3 of the global population, or 2.3 billion people, use open fires to cook with, which is responsible for 6.7 million premature deaths. Women and children bear the greatest health burden. It also contributes to deforestation, air pollution, and climate change. The Clean Cooking Task Force connects communities with healthy, planet-saving solutions tailored to local conditions. Plastic is choking our planet from extraction to end of life. Rotarians are saying no to single-use plastic, with plastic-free events, film collection, and education. From cleanups to root cause, join us monthly at Plastic Global Cafe. And PS Chair Tammy is putting links in the chat. Adopt a River and Cleaning Rivers of the World have been incorporated into the joint Rotary International and UN Environmental Program, Community Action for Fresh Water. This is a great example of how ESRAG environmental programs can be adopted and upscaled by Rotary International to increase their scope and impact. The Rio Motagua runs through Guatemala, Honduras, and Belize, and was considered the most polluted river in the world. With the support of Rotary clubs, Rotarians like past ESRAG Director Frank and Adopt a River founder Salvador Rico organized 25 private companies and government entities for cleanup to begin. ESRAG officer and Rotaractor Denise Verral founded ESRAG's Conserving Glacial Resources Task Force. Why is this important? Because almost 2 billion people, or close to a quarter of humanity, depend on glacial water for survival. Verral and her team are working on innovative ways to slow down and preserve glacial runoff. Pollinators are essential for life on Earth. Pollinators are in decline around the world. Rotarians can help address the issue through their conservation and education programs. 220 groups on 6 continents have signed a pollinator pledge. 90% of the points on the map are Rotary pollinator activities. Chair Chris Stein will be putting links in the chat. As pollution levels rise and the world becomes warmer, storms and droughts become stronger, harming the people that we, Rotarians, work hardest to help. ESRAG members from Germany and Australia help clubs estimate their club's carbon footprint and reduce it. Every Club Climate Friendly was in the 2024 Rotary International Convention breakout session. Learn how Rotary can become carbon neutral by 2040. Over 1,000 people have signed up for the 15-day plant-rich diet challenge. It's a delicious climate solution. As reported by the Rotary magazine, ESRAG's Renewable Energy Task Force is bridging the income and energy divide. The Million Solar Panels Challenge empowers Rotarians worldwide to take direct action against climate change, one solar panel at a time. By encouraging the installation of solar panels, this initiative helps reduce energy costs and cuts CO2 emissions. Did you know that if every Rotarian installed one 400-watt solar panel, this would be equivalent to planting 14 million mature trees, saving $5 billion in electricity bills, and stop 10 million tons of CO2 from being released into the atmosphere? So far, over 17,000 panels have been logged by over 280 Rotarians from around the world. Just scan the QR code to log your panels or donate at esrag.org, Million Solar Panels.
Okay, that concludes that video. And let me try to switch back to the slide deck, and I'll try to quickly move through that portion and get us to a completion point here. Okay. Oops. Okay. Well, looks like let me go like this. There we go. Okay. So you can go to esrag.org to get to the ESRAG website. That was a really good overview of the broad reach of ESRAG. There's a relatively new concept here of the Eco Action Club, Eco Star Club, and the Eco Action District. And so it's all about membership. So our club, I think we have 5 members now. And so we are regarded by ESRAG as an Eco Action Club. So this is just an idea of something that we can do as clubs and districts. This is actually just simply how to join ESRAG. And so there's a link right up there, and the benefits of joining ESRAG. You'll instantly, provide a little bit of money. It's about $30 a year to join, and then you'll get on mailing lists and learn about weekly project seminars, and potentially even become a member of a task force. These are a full list of persons who can Zoom into your club meeting. At the end, I'll tell you that I can come to your club and present on plant-rich diets and pollinators.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
Scott, this is Don. We're not getting the slide. We're hearing you fine, but we got a picture of Doug White without the slides that you're talking about.
No, we don't
We
see
can
the
fix
slides.
that.
Thank
I
you.
haven't seen the slides either.
Thank you for that.
You bet. You bet.
I'll unshare and reshare. I've done that once already.
These are
Let's
tricky.
see.
I know that.
Yeah. Well, let me try that. Usually I just share the screen, How's that?
There it is.
There it is. Okay. All right. And then let me see if I can move it. There we go. Yeah, so this was the information about the eco clubs and the how the district can, become involved due to membership. This is how to join ESRAG. And, there's a membership thing there, but you can find it if you go to esrag.org. And these are the things, on this slide that you'll become instantly aware of. And then this is the slide I was talking about most recently, the variety of speakers in the task forces that you've already heard about, who may well just Zoom into your club and give a presentation. So, and I can do that on plant-rich diets and pollinators. I can show up on Zoom or in person. This you may have seen in the Rotary, the Rotarian, the most recent issue, April, and it features food waste. So there's a massive article there featured on the cover of the Rotarian. And this was mentioned in Doug's presentation there, lunch out of landfills. Notice at the bottom it says, get the toolkit. If you love working with kids in a school setting, you can go in there and make an arrangement to show them how to divert their lunches into a more sustainable way. And so this could be he did this in elementary schools, but I suppose this could be done with an Interact club or even a Rotaract club, educating them about food waste. And if we get them young, guess what? We might have them. Operation Pollination is all about, saving our pollinators. Our Rotary Club, this is a picture of our butterfly garden down here in Ann Arbor along the river. And you'll see Manish there and myself and several other of our Rotarians. This was established when I joined Rotary back in 1991. And I've been working on helping to manage it ever since. This Thursday, Sharna may actually come and enjoy a presentation from Ann Arbor Parks. And we're going to be awarding a honorary Paul Harris Fellow to 2 of the stellar volunteers. One's a city worker and the other one is just a volunteer who out of the community, and they've really adopted this garden as their project. So it's incredible. And, you know, you could become a Operation Pollination Ambassador. How many clubs in our district have put in pollinator gardens? Well, you could get involved with ESRAG Operation Pollination. And so there are ways to do that. There's a pollinator pledge that a club can take. And so there's some ideas about taking the pollinator pledge. It's a really cool document for one thing, but then there's a list of things that clubs can do. This is actually an event that's happening tomorrow, put on by Christopher Stein and Operation Pollination. And so you can actually join this at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. I think it's 9 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. So they have at least quarterly presentations. And I'm not going to spend much time on endangered species, but our current Secretary of the Interior is not in favor of the endangered species list. Christopher Stein, that's him right there. That's his picture. But more importantly, this is his contact. He's with the National Park Service. I'm with U.S. Geological Survey, and I was so delighted to meet Chris. He's been in National Park Service longer than I've been in USGS, and it's been over 4 decades. So we had mentioned there the Million Solar Panel Challenge. How many Rotarians in 6380 have seen to it that solar panels get installed someplace? Guatemala, Global Grant Project, here at home somewhere. You can log your solar panels. I think the number is up to 50,000 or more that have been logged. These are the solar panels that I put on the roof. There's 80 solar panels there. And so I funded this project, but the money's coming back to me. It turns out to be a no interest loan. And that's right here in Ann Arbor on the church campus. And that those solar panels are supplying 100% of the electricity on one building and 50% on this larger building here. And I logged the solar panels. This is just photographic evidence. That's me standing there in the black shirt with the crew from Homeland Solar that put the panels up. I actually hoisted them up and got up there with those guys. We did an LED lighting retrofit. That's my man Jerry there. We took regular T12 fixtures and took the ballasts out and did direct wire LEDs. And that saves a lot of electricity. You may know Sally Wenzel. She was a member, or maybe still is, of West Bloomfield Rotary. I met Sally when I went up there to give a talk on plant-rich diets, and we became instant friends. And then Sally and I led out in some environmental projects when Bala Murthy was district governor. But really, I'm just talking about how the environmental focus can attract members to your club. And you heard Doug say that our co-chair, Chris Cameron, probably was going to quit Rotary until she realized that Rotary had an environmental focus. And now she's become this incredible co-chair and leader in our Plant-Rich Diet Task Force. This is a current event that Sally has up on Facebook, and she's teaching people how to have a pollinator-friendly natural lawn. And, you know, lawns are actually one of the biggest crops we have in America. What if they were all pollinator friendly? That might help. She wrote this book, and when she was inducted into the club, this was her topic because she was the featured speaker that day. Let's build a rain garden. It's a beautiful book. I would encourage people just to get it because it's such a beautiful book. You can get it on Amazon. Well, lo and behold, I had already put in a rain garden right there at that church building. This is 120 feet long, and that's an early stage of the rain garden there. So this is my last slide, and I'm taking a little longer than Sharna told me I could have, but So here's my asks. Sign up for the 15-day plant-rich diet challenge. Get the book for your club, The 7 Steps to a Climate-Friendly Rotary Club. Recruit members to ESRAG. We could form district level and club level environmental teams. If you've done solar panels, log them. Be an Operation Pollination ambassador, and also be informed about ESRAG. And you can certainly invite me to speak to your club. And finally, we can all eat plants and plant trees. All right. Sorry, that was so long, Sharna. I apologize.
You got fireworks going even. That's fantastic, Scott. Thank you, Don. Very cool. Thank you so much, Scott. I really enjoyed the presentation. Yes, it did go longer, but we all enjoyed it. I could see that people were very engaged. And so thank you very much. You gave us a wonderful tour, if you will, with regard to ESRAG. I am definitely signing up for Plant-Rich Diet again, and I highly recommend it. So any questions for Scott? Thank you again, Scott. Don.
I'm off mute.
Scott, we recorded this session. Will it be available to us if we want to show it to other people?
Yes. Mhm.
How do we get it, Sharna?
I will speak with our public image lead and see if it's something that we can post. If not, I will try to send an excerpt through our club runner. And then the third thing that I can do with this one is to basically get your email address and send it to you using WeTransfer, because it's rather long. But I
That's
can
right.
send an excerpt to everyone through Club Runner.
That's great. A
Mhm.
second question, Scott. So I'm from Ann Arbor. I'm from one of the other, I'm from RCAA. We've met, I think, in one of those meetings. Where is the pollinator garden along the river?
It's cat a corner from Huron High School.
Oh,
So
I know right where it is.
yeah, so the boat launch parking lot, pull in there, and then head back toward the Huron Parkway overpass, and it's right there next to the parking lot.
Ah, great. Thank you. I bicycle out there a lot.
It's
so
in
I'll check it
Gallup
out.
Park,
Gallup Park, yeah.
Yep.
northwest
Thank you,
corner
Scott.
of that segment east of the Huron Parkway on the north side of the river.
Well said, Steve.
I ride my bike by there too.
Well, it's Barry here. Well, I can vouch for that pollinator garden over to you, Scott. Having seen that in the past, it was very impressive. It's hard to forget. Good presentation, Scott. And you mentioned Calgary. I'm signed up. Carol and I are both signed up to go. I was just wondering who else on here may be going to ESRAG out there. That's good. So we'll see those hands out there then.
Fantastic. So
Renee,
who learned something new tonight? I learned quite a bit that's new. I think Renee's hand is up. You're on mute.
she told me to
I
come
was
off
just
mute.
raising my hand that I was going to be attending in Calgary,
Oh.
so, but I think I saw David's hand up earlier. I'm not sure.
Ah. Mhm.
And Scott, again, I'll say to Sharna, I'll put a strong vouch in for being a member of ESRAG. I really appreciate what comes through there from the nominal amount for membership. And it certainly does keep you connected to the environment, environmental sustainability, and of course, connects to clean water and sanitation.
Mhm.
Yep, Barry inspired the planting of 100 trees at the district conference.
Yes, he did.
Yep, I had a little
Awesome.
bit to do with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to I was in the process today of putting together a cross-connect email to go out, but I've got to try to figure out how to get some emails from other districts. But you talk about 100 trees, and of course that was a function of back in 1718 when RI President Ian Risley encouraged 1 tree per Rotarian members across the world, and 30 million were planted that year. And that was a milestone to say the least.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Quite a legacy.
We we will do our fourth year of 100 trees in November. For the 4th year, 100 trees in the Memorial Tree Park.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful park, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking me there when I visit it.
yeah,
So thank you, Case.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody heard about Sudbury and how it was all burnt out, just nothing growing at all? Because of copper and nickel mining and smelting and all that. Anyway, there was the whole huge area up there that was not even able to grow anything. Astronauts. And in fact, the astronauts training to go to the moon walked on the surface up in Sudbury to get used to there being no vegetation. Well, anyway, since I was up there a long time ago, they have planted 10 million trees along the Trans-Canada Highway into Sudbury and Coppercliff, which is a real testimony. And I'm pretty sure that the Rotary Club of Sudbury's had a significant role to play in tying in with that. And so that's the reason why I'm real pleased that this environmental sustainability area focus came into being officially in 2020.
Right.
You know.
And one of the points that Scott made with regard to that area of focus, environmental area of focus, is that the more you let people know that we have that as a focus, it is a way to attract people. And my understanding is that it's a great way to attract younger people to Rotary. There are so many different things that you can do. I had not learned about the Echo Club or Echo District, but thank you for sharing that with us. And you'll make this available, right? Your presentation. And then we will
The slides, yeah,
share it
absolutely.
with everyone. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Fantastic. A lot of great material, really inspiring. And there's so many ideas in it that our clubs and individual Rotarians can use. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Even though I'm somewhat familiar with what the ESRAG has done, and I'm active in the Ann Arbor Rotary Club at Rotary we call it the Environmental Action Group, and I was one of the co-founders of it. We're in our 3rd year, and we've got a lot of work to do. But one of the things the club did within the month was accept the Zero Carbon Challenge and work toward becoming a zero challenge club. I must say we have our own challenges within the club to make this the highest priority or higher priority, but we're moving slowly. Sometimes not people aren't as enthusiastic about the environmental issues as we might want, but we keep struggling to raise awareness and commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Your lunch menu, Don, is perfect. It's perfectly done. You know, one of the messages that came from Karen Kendrick Hands, actually, who is a lawyer and instrumental in actually establishing ESRAG and the protecting the environment. She sent a message to us just this last week, and it simply said, you know, in your Rotary Club, make a plant-based option available, but make it prominent, like the first option. And that's exactly the way you guys have it set up.
Well, it's true, right? And if we have any protein, it's fish or chicken. So that's right. We've been good at that. We're trying to think about the plates right now, but there's a conflict technically about whether the China plates are less um, carbon friendly than the compostable plates. And apparently the scientists don't agree on that. And so we don't want to start exposing people to the challenge of paper plates when they're used to China until we got the science agreed. So we're all
Yeah.
working on that.
Yeah,
Small
there's
steps, small steps.
absolutely. There's little disagreement though about what you put on it.
That's true. Thanks for that reinforcement, Scott. Appreciate that.
Well,
Oh,
I'm one of those.
Well, I've got
guys
another
that-
meeting, so I'm gonna have to go, but thank you so much. I really enjoyed your presentation, Scott, and it's great to see everyone.
Bye,
Thank you,
Renee.
Thank you, Renee. Mhm. So Scott, as we wrap up, anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I'll give you a current event, okay?
Okay.
So, and this isn't intended to be a political statement. It's just the truth, okay? So when I started working here 41 years ago, we were in the Fish and Wildlife Service Region 8 Research and Development. And later on, we got pulled out by Bill Clinton into this thing called the National Biological Service. And then Newt Gingrich came in and he saw this brand new thing that Bill Clinton had created, which was not brand new, by the way. It was composed of a bunch of research entities from the National Park Service, Fish and Wildlife Service. And they said, hey, we can save the government, the people $174 million by just getting rid of that thing that Bill Clinton created. Great political move, you know. They realized it wasn't new, and so they merged this into the U.S. Geological Survey, where we became the Biological Resources Division and then later discipline, okay? So that's key because now we're known, that was changed. Now we're called the Ecosystems Mission Area. All right. So we just learned that the Trump administration wants to eliminate the Ecosystems Mission Area. And they plan to do that in the fiscal year 2026, which is the upcoming fiscal year. So we're supposed to start making plans to, you know, and what we do here is we do fisheries research on the Great Lakes. And we do sea lamprey control. And there's actually legislation that says that supports our budget and that we actually help support a $5 billion fishing industry, both on the commercial and the sports side. So if you run the numbers, we're a pretty good, you know, return on investment. So that's just a current thing, and we'll see what Congress ends up doing with it. But today up here by the EPA, there's a whole demonstration going on. And so that's just a current event.
I hope you feel better now, Scott.
Well, it's kind of nothing new to me, Barry. These conversations that ebb and flow, you know, kind of back and forth with administrations. So anyway, it's a current event. I really appreciate Sharna doing a focus on each area, and that we I really appreciated the engagement here with all of you.
Thank you so much, Scott. We really
Thank you,
appreciate
Scott.
your sharing
Thank
and
you,
encouraging us to move in the direction of environmental sustainability. If you would
Absolutely.
like a full copy of the recording, please put your email address in the chat. I can only send a small excerpt through Club Runner. So if you'd like your own copy to share with your club, and to recruit new members who are interested in environmental sustainability, please provide your email address in the chat, and I'll be sure that you get a copy. So thank you.
I'll
Some of
try
you
to-
already have your email address, but
I'll try to reduce this down to a PDF and then send you the entire slide deck.
That'd be
Sounds good.
helpful. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. The other thing that sometimes people don't realize is that when you send something through Club Runner, whereas Lois would have been able to break this down. But when you share through Club Runner, it's not as if you get access to the person's actual email address. So I just wanted to let you know that.
Another idea, Sharon, is that the Plant Rich Diet Challenge has a YouTube channel, And so if I had access to the full MP4, I could actually upload it there. And then
great.
people could actually have access to the entire presentation, the entire recording.
We will do that. I love that idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There are a
Exactly.
few people in my orbit who would take the time, I think, to listen. There's also a lot of ideas sprinkled through there and motivation. And so I like the idea of the YouTube post.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful Earth Day, what remains of it, and every day is Earth Day. So thank you very much for being conscientious. And thank you again, Scott. We really, really appreciate the presentation.
And we love you, Sharna.
Thanks for
Thank
setting
you.
us up,
I love
Shauna. This
everyone.
We
was
love
great.
you,
Thank
Sharna. You
Good
too,
night.
Scott.
Bye.
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 Good evening, everyone.